As a kid, I went to speech therapy to fix this weird, actually voice. But you can still hear.
Actually.
Yeah, it seems like I did fail my speech therapy appointment. So, in this video, I will take you through my journey of going to speech therapy, why I failed to improve my S sounds, was it worth it in the end, and how I got punched in the mouth. Twice, actually. Hey, sir, can I sit here?
No, thanks. I prefer to be alone.
Anyways, I'm going to show you a quick rundown about my face for those who are new or don't know, because it is one of the reasons why I talk like this. I was born with a big bilateral cleft lip and palate, which is a gaping hole to the lip all the way to the roof of the mouth. Obviously, they screw up how I look, so I went through multiple surgeries and orthodontic appointments to get it fixed. I do want to say that this is not the only reason why I have this voice. There are plenty of humans out there with the same condition as me, and they could speak clearly. Having a bilateral cleft lip and palate allows the air to escape through my nose instead of just the mouth, causes my speech to sound a little bit nasally. Additionally, the structural differences in my mouth and palate causes me to struggle to talk, which makes it somewhat hard for me to say a lot of letters correctly. Yeah, as a kid, I couldn't even speak clear English to save my life. And I still can't. Like, I pronounce the letters D, T, and G as a K, K sound. And sometimes I even say the G sounds accidentally to say D sounds. I pronounce all W sounds like a W, W sounds. I mistake the letter F sounds as a TH, the sound. Lastly, I pronounce my S's like... Honestly, I don't think I need to tell you. Yeah, honestly, I feel like it's like the combination of being born like this and just naturally talk like this all my life is the reason why I have this actual voice. My speech has gotten so bad, it got to the point where my parents couldn't even understand what I'm saying most of the time. Because of that, my parents took me to speech therapy to get my voice to sound like a freaking normal human person. My first therapist was a very stern and serious person, making sure I'm actually improving and get really upset if I don't improve. When I was a lot younger, I hate when people get mad at me, so I try my best to make her happy. Over time learning all these pronunciations, my sounds were getting a lot better. But when it was time to fix my S sounds, the boundaries of the company started to expand, which makes me have to move offices. At first, it doesn't seem like a really big deal. That is until I learned that I had to switch with another speech therapist. The feeling when you have to switch teachers in school sunk in, which is usually not a good sign. Then, the moment she came to the room, I realized that this person was immediately an extremely nice therapist. According to my mom, she was a lot more newer to her job. Compared to my old therapist, she was a lot more laid back and wasn't as stern or strict. Of course, we tried to make my S sounds to get better every day. She clicked that my S sounds are blowing out in the sides of my mouth rather than the center. So we tried a lot of methods to fix this. From blowing out a straw, to having a mirror in front of me, speaking on my tongue on my top teeth, bottom teeth, make a long T sound like... Another thing about me is that I love warheads. No, it's not the sponsor of the video. I just love warheads in general. To talk to my Patreon though, you have my beautiful memories right here. For some reason, my therapist learned that about me and started to reward me with warheads whenever I do good on my speeches. Back then, I was ecstatic. Even my favorite gauge back then was going to speech therapy because I could get free warheads. Literally, I couldn't even think of a nicer person than her. One time after an appointment, my father and I walked over to the elevator to go to the bottom floor because we moved freaking offices now. We all know that feeling when you press an elevator button, the button glows and has this satisfying... Yeah, I love going to the elevators first just to hear and click the button. Suddenly, this older kid named Lincoln came to the elevator after me. Since I was there first, I immediately pressed the button. Lincoln, who I assume wanted to do this as well, came towards me and punched me in the face full force right into my cleft lip. It happened so fast, I didn't even grasp like what just happened. Then, again! Luckily, his mother yelled his name, grabbed him, and shoved him away from me while I rushed behind my father, bawling my eyes out. Then, in my dad's car, I started to become very violent and regret not fighting him back because I want him to feel the pain that I felt. Looking back now, I'm glad I didn't do it. Then, weeks become months, and months become years. Over time, my parents saw that I haven't been improving a lot throughout the years. Because these things are super expensive and my family aren't the richest people in the world, they decided to cancel the appointments. I stopped going to speech therapy, and the rest is history. So, in a nutshell, I have a wonderfully kind therapist. I'm getting a lot of techniques to fix my list, and I earn my favorite candy as a reward. What went wrong? Well, let's just say that I'm a very complex human to the point that I don't even understand myself. Firstly, I'm diagnosed with a big fat serious skill issue. All the techniques and lessons I've been taught just get stored out of my brain the moment I leave the hospital. I feel like the reason why I don't do it outside is because I don't get warhead. I'm a very quiet person in real life and barely get into any drama, making me avoid getting bullied and then other people not hear my voice. Okay, I do occasionally get made fun of, like people laughing at me or mocking my voice, but it's nothing compared to like bullying that you see in movies. Plus, I never know if I'm speaking correctly because I feel like my voice is just good enough. Yeah, you can say that that is a very stupid and lazy reason. And I agree with you 100% because I am also lazy and stupid. Finally, I'm not going to blame my therapist. She was a wonderful person, but she was less strict compared to my old therapist. This made me less serious about improving my speech. Instead, it made me go there just to get warheads. Literally all I'm saying is that this is my fault for not being serious. Nonetheless, I'm grateful that I was able to go to speech therapy because if it wasn't for it, my voice would be so much different and so much worse. But hey, at least this voice got me over 100k subs and really cool Patreon members. So, I think it was worth it. And I assume that you probably want to know about my mouth, which looks like this. If you want to learn more, click on this video right here.